back, guys. Another lineup review. This is a lineup review from 2/10/2022. The NBA clutch shot 400K. Dabbing Puggle took this home last night. Shout out and congratulations to him. This little series I do where we look back at the winning lineups, kind of see how these guys fit into the winning lineup, and see if we can notice any trends or any insights and implement this into our own game. Last night's slate was pretty fun. Had some nice fun plays around this late. As always, if you guys like these videos and want to keep seeing me pump them out, go ahead, drop me a like and subscribe to the channel below. Helps me and the channel out tremendously, and it ensures that I keep pumping these out for you guys. So let's go ahead and hop into the lineup. At the first point guard spot, we have Chris Paul. Big game, near triple-double, three rebounds shy. Came into the highest game total on the slate with the second tightest spread. As we've been mentioning all throughout this series, that tight spread and that high game total has been a great game environment for our point guards. This guy's been on a tear recently as well. I believe he's had at least 10 or more assists over his past 15 games. Simply insane. That's an insane floor to have from this guy. He's also going to chip in with some defensive stats, as we see 2 steals last night. Always going to be rebounding the ball, always putting shots up as well. May got a little bit of offensive boost last night. Devin Booker getting a little bit of a foul trouble early on. I believe he had 3 fouls in the first quarter or early second. So he sat down the stretch for a good bit. So that might have, help Chris Paul stay out there on the floor a little longer and lead the team a little longer. Next point guard spot, we got Kyle Lowry, a guy who's been kind of trotting along, slugging along since injury. But last night he finally put it all together and had himself a really big game. Triple-double here, 4 steals. Good game environment as well. High total, tight spread. Like I said, finally put it all together. Going up against a weak New Orleans defense. They changed their lineup around a little bit. Got some new guys in there, so I think they're kind of, meshing together and kind of getting their defense together. So I think that's what opened up for, Kyle Lowry to have such a good game as well. No Tyler Hero off the bench. He was out this game. So I might allow Lowry to kind of, command the second unit a bit more, take a couple more shots, dish a couple more assists out on the second unit as well. Whenever he's on, Kyle Lowry's a triple-double guy. Not many shot attempts, but he'll go out there, get the rebounds, get the assist. Similar to Chris Paul, also a guy who's going to give you some defensive upside. And like I previously mentioned, New Orleans is kind of a new lineup, so maybe their offensive isn't as crisp and clean as it should be. And maybe they're a little sloppy last night. Evidence of the 4 steals. First shooting guard spot, really a point guard. We got Kyrie Irving. Obviously, we all know about the big Harden trade. So no Harden last night, no KD. He's going to be out through the All-Star break. So that kind of opened up for Kyrie to lead the offense here. This season without Harden, KD, he's been averaging about 20 shots a game with about 35 minutes played. So that opened up a pretty good, solid playing time floor and opportunity floor with KD and Harden being out for this game. And like I mentioned previously, the solid floor he came in tonight with 22 shot attempts in 38 minutes. So definitely followed that trend. We know obviously without these guys, he's kind of the lead guy out there. Only guy out there who can really create offense, score at will. So he's definitely the leader of the offense there. No Dinwiddie. He was also traded to Dallas. And he's more of a bigger, longer point guard than Raul Neto. So that might have made things a little easier for Kyrie on the defensive end, going up against a softer defensive matchup. And he also came into this game with pretty good history against Washington. He's been averaging 48 fantasy points against them over the last 4 games and certainly kept that trend alive, putting up 46 last night. Next shooting guard spot, we have Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's a solid player. He can fill up the stat sheet in every category, offensively and defensively. Not really a guy who's going to come out there and, chuck up a bunch of shots. But again, there was no Tyler Hero for the Miami Heat last night, so that might have led for some more shot opportunities for Jimmy Butler here. I think we can see a little bit of evidence of that. He had about 16 shots last night and 30% usage, which is a little bump from his season normals. Again, New Orleans is kind of running out a different lineup here, so we didn't have any Josh Hart, who's a pesky defender. A guy's going to stay with you. He's kind of active, kind of an annoying defender. So I think not having that out there, having CJ McCollum Might have made life for Jimmy Butler a little easier last night. And again, like I previously mentioned with Kyle Lowry, New Orleans is running out a new lineup, so offense might be a little sloppy, as evidenced by 4 steals by Jimmy Butler as well. If we're seeing the common trend, these guys with these defensive upsides are really valuable when making your lineups. Because 4 steals, it's an easy 12 points right there on top of what these guys are doing offensively. So definitely a thing to keep in mind going forward. Our first small forward spot, we have Kevin Porter, really a point guard. He's been on a nice little streak without Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon's been out the last 3 games. The first game he was out was a little bit of a blowout, so Porter didn't have as good of an offensive output. But the 2 games that weren't as much of a blowout, he's been taking at least 16 shots, getting about 35 minutes a game. So definitely a bump in playing time and opportunity as well. Shooting it well as well. Toronto was missing Fred VanVleet last night, so that might have also helped him on the offensive side with no Fred VanVleet defending him. Fred's he's a smaller guy, but he's definitely a pesky defender. He's gonna get up in you and definitely be there on defense, get some steals, poke the ball out. So having him off the floor definitely might have helped Kevin Porter last night. This was also a really good game environment. Second highest game total on the slate, high paced matchup. Definitely set up for the track meet that these guys had last night, and a great play coming in at 5.4% ownership. Our second small forward spot, a guy I was really all over last night, Gary Trent. Like I mentioned previously, good game environment, third highest game total. Fred VanVleet was also out, like I previously mentioned, and when Fred's been out, Gary Trent's kind of been the guy, him along with Siakam. Just chucking up shots. He's been averaging 20 plus shots without Fred VanVleet, which is simply insane for a guy who was priced as cheap as he was. Last night he took 26 shots, with 13 of those being threes. So if he hits at least half of those, it's easy 15 points. He was certainly efficient last night, scoring 42 real points. Gary Trent's also a guy I like to play because he brings immense defensive upside. This guy will come out and get you sometimes 5 steals, 6 steals, 4 steals. It's kind of crazy the rate he gets steals. And with him coming into a fast matchup against Houston, who's also a little sloppy offensively, certainly had some nice steal potential here. And he certainly had that into fruition. 5 steals last night to go on top of his 42 points. Led to a pretty monstrous game. First power forward spot, we have Jeremy Grant. The guy's been working himself back from injury. Cade Cunningham's been out, so he's kind of been the lead guy there. Again, kind of only the guy that can go out there and create offense for himself and create offense for others. So he's kind of the leader out there in Detroit right now. This is one of the higher total games, even though it's projected to be a blowout. Somebody had to score in Detroit. Somebody had to lead the offense, and nobody else out there can do it besides Jeremy Grant. He also came in with a good matchup against Memphis. Over their last 10 games, they've been a top 5 matchup for power forwards, so that might be a little trend to keep in mind going forward. Next power forward spot, a little bit of off the wall play. We have Denny Advia. Kind of how I mentioned with the Kyrie situation, but a good bit of the Washington Wizard players were traded earlier yesterday, or had some guys hurt as well, so that opened up some minutes, definitely in the front court. I believe they only had 1 center active last night. Only 2 true power forwards, even though Kuzma's a power forward. But only the true power forwards, I believe, are Rui and Deni Avdija. So there was definitely some more playing time and opportunity to go around. Excuse me. And I definitely fell in favor of Denny here. He finally got the clips over 30 minutes. So that was definitely good for him to see. He's a bigger guy. I believe he's a near 7-footer, so that gives him some rebounding upside, some defensive upside as well. And with him coming into a nice, fast-paced, high-scoring projected matchup, he was definitely able to kind of, contribute in all different categories here. Scored some points. He's a good shooter, and had some defensive stats. A nice little cheap guy here. Getting some extended luck. Was able to cash in and make this lineup work overall, giving him a little bit of salary relief. Our last spot here at center, Thomas Bryant. Center was kind of light last night. We had Thomas here again, as I previously mentioned. A lot of the Wizard guys were out last night. Only one active true center, which is Thomas Bryant. Was kind of banking on him having a bigger minute output. Unfortunately, he only played 19 minutes. But I mean, as we can see, he definitely did a lot in those 19 minutes. He's definitely a guy who's been producing in given minutes. Last season, we saw this guy, top tier center, creeping into the 7,000 range. So definitely a good player overall. Um, with all those guys being out, when he was on the court, he was very efficient and used often. 13 blocks, 13 points, 6 rebounds, a steal, and 2 blocks. So he's definitely a guy who's gonna go out there, contribute offensively, get you some rebounds, and also be there on the defensive end. Brooklyn was missing Nick Claxton and LaMarcus Aldridge, two of their big guys, leaving them with Blake Griffin, who's past his prime down there. So definitely a soft matchup for Thomas, and he definitely took advantage of it. That's also a trend we're going to be looking out for here. Although I do believe that Nick Claxton is near a return, but if Brooklyn is playing, we have no Claxton, LaMarcus Aldridge. Be sure to take advantage of old Blake Griffin down there. So that's gonna wrap this one up here. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hopefully you took a little bit of something away from it. Again, if you liked it and want to see me keep pumping these out, go ahead and drop me a like and subscribe below. Peace.